Emir here, and welcome to part 5 of the Colonial house course. Okay, to start working on the main door, I'm going to place my human reference right where the door is going to be. Put the 3D cursor there, Shift A, and add a cube. Then from the transform panel, let's make it 2.5 meters on the Z-axis to get that rectangle shape. Move it down on the Z a bit so it's flush with that lower trim. Then let's just unhide the porch objects and look at it from the front view. I think we can move it a bit to the right. That's good. Now let's hide everything else, apply the scale, bring it forward and isolate it. Then let's select the cube, tab into edit mode, select the back face and press X and delete the vertices. So now we have only one face. Set origin to geometry, tab into edit mode, press I, and inset the face just a bit. Hold down Alt and select this loop of faces, then press E and extrude it outwards. Then select the inner face, press I again and inset it. Then press E to extrude the insetted section. Inset again, and this time extrude it inwards. Inset one last time and extrude inwards again. This will act as our outer door frame. Then add a cube, scale it up on Z and down on X to fit the frame of our door. Place it to the side, and from the modifiers panel, add a mirror modifier so we have it on the other side as well. Then press Shift D and duplicate the cube. Rotate it 90 degrees, get rid of the mirror modifier and bring it to the top. Then tab into edit mode and use the snapping tool to snap the side of the cubes to the inner side of the outer frame and make it fit. Select the outer frame, tab into edit mode, then select the inner face, X, and delete it. Let's push this back a bit, then duplicate this cube and bring it down. Tab into edit mode. We're going to set the snapping tool to face, then press Ctrl R and add a loop cut, snap it to this face. Then add another loop cut and snap it to this face. Then we're going to delete all of the faces in the middle. I'm going to do something similar to the upper cube, except I'm not going to delete the middle section and I'm just going to get rid of the clipping. Looking at it from the front view, I think this is a bit too wide for a door. So I'm just going to select this cube, press G in X and move it towards my human reference. And the other one is just going to get closer since we have a mirror modifier. By doing that, we've messed up these horizontal cubes, so I'm just going to tab into edit mode and snap them into place. To clean up what we have so far, I'm just going to select all of these cubes, tab into edit mode and select the back faces, then set the snapping tool to vertex. Press G, Y, and snap it here to make these cubes thinner. Then I'm just going to delete the back faces since we're not going to see them and we're not going to need them. I'm also going to get rid of all the inside and unnecessary faces that we have. Apply this mirror modifier, then select everything and Ctrl J to join them. Then set the origin to geometry. To make some inner frames, tab into edit mode and select these three faces. Then I'm going to press Shift D, duplicate them, and bring them up a bit. Then press P and separate them by selection. Press 1 to go into side view, turn on X-ray mode, select these vertices, press X, and delete them. Now we just have 6 vertices. I'm going to press G and I'm going to snap it to the bottom, then press E, extrude it, and snap it to the top, so it covers the holes. I'm going to press Ctrl A and apply the scale, select them, press I and inset them, then press E and extrude them inwards. Then I'm going to delete the inner face. I'm going to duplicate this and snap it to the bottom. Take this cube and bring it down a bit, snap it to the inner frame, and delete this middle part. Since there's going to be a door here, we're not going to need this. Then let's again duplicate these and bring them up here, snap them here, tab into edit mode, select the upper faces, and snap them up here. Then let's select all of these inner frames, tab into edit mode and select the outer edge. Then press E and snap it here so the outer edge has some depth. We're not really going to see it, but later on it's going to look nice when we add some bevels to it. Also, let's just push these inner frames in to create some extra depth. Then let's just apply the scale on everything, and I'm going to make one little adjustment to these. I'm just going to select them, tap into edit mode, select these vertices, press S and Z and scale them down and make them a bit bigger. Now I think the base of the frame is done, so we can start working on the door itself. I'm going to open the object menu, snap and cursor to selected to get our 3D cursor to the origin point of our outer frame. Then I'm going to add a cube, scale it down on Y, bring it down, and scale it down on X. Now we're going to tab into edit mode, select the top face, turn on snapping and snapping to the top. Snap the side faces to the side and the bottom face to the bottom so it fits the frame. Control A to apply the scale and set origin to geometry. Then tab into edit mode, Control R and add a loop cut in the middle. Then press Control B and bevel the loop cut. Add another loop cut in the middle and press Control B to bevel it again. Add a horizontal loop cut, bring it up, then press Control R again and add another loop cut. Now I'm going to turn on X-ray mode, select this part, press P and separate by selection. Then I'm going to tab into edit mode, select these edges and these edges, press X and dissolve them. Then let's select this piece, tab into edit mode, select these edges, press X and dissolve them as well. And press G, Y and bring it out. Then press Shift A and add a cube, scale it down, press 1 to go into front view, scale it down on X, scale it up on Z, bring it down, apply the scale, tab into edit mode, select these two edges, then press Ctrl B and bevel them. Add a few segments. From the modifier panel, add a mirror modifier, then select the door as our mirror object. Select these 4 vertices, press F to make a face, then deselect these 2 and press F a couple of times until it covers all of the sides. Apply the scale, then let's hide it and work on the other part for now. Let's fill in these faces just like we did with the other one. Dissolve these edges on the bottom and on the top. Then add a loop cut down here, press Ctrl B and bevel it with one segment. Then select these faces, press I again to insert individual faces and insert them just a bit. Then press E and extrude them inwards. Then hold down Alt and select these outer edges. Then press Ctrl B and bevel them. Add a bunch of segments. Then from the bevel options menu, turn the profile type to custom and preset to cornice molding. Also, turn the segments to 8. Then turn on X-ray mode and select all of these outer edges. Then press N and from the item menu, turn up the mean bevel weight to 1 so we can use a bevel modifier to bevel them. Then from the modifiers panel, add a bevel modifier, turn the limit method to weight, turn up the segments to 2 and reduce the amount. Unhide the outer parts, copy the bevel modifier over, then select these outer edges and turn the mean bevel weight of them to 1 as well. Then press I to inset them just a little bit to avoid getting artifacts when we apply a boolean modifier later. Then add the boolean modifier and select these cubes as the object. Also, don't forget to turn the cubes from texture to wire in the object properties panel so we can see what we're dealing with. Now press G and Y and move everything into place. Hide the cutter object, go ahead and apply the boolean modifier, then select these edges, Ctrl B and bevel them just a bit with one segment. To add the door handle, I'm going to use the Archimesh add-on that comes with Blender. Add any door and choose the handle that I want. Then delete everything else and just keep the handles and move them into place on my door. I'm just going to speed this up and show you the process. And finally, I'm going to tab into edit mode on my outer frame, select these outer loop, press Shift D to duplicate it, then press P and separate it by selection, and I'm going to make it bigger so it covers the entire door. I'm going to cover the faces, apply the scale, and in Object Properties panel, turn the display as from texture to wire, and later on we're going to use this as our Boolean cutter object. And the main door is pretty much done. Now we can move on to the second door. The modeling process of the second door is pretty much the same as the main one, so I'm just going to show you a time lapse of me making it, and whenever I feel like maybe some narration or guidance is necessary, I will explain what's going on. But it's fairly simple, and if you followed the course so far, it's going to be very easy, since we're using the exact same techniques that we've been using so far. Here I'm going to add a loop cut in the middle of my cube, delete one half so I can use a mirror modifier and avoid having to do the same thing twice. Instead of remaking the mountains for the door again, I'm just going to reuse some from our previously made windows. Now almost all of our doors and windows are ready. We're going to finalize them, and in the next video we're going to place them and hopefully finish up this building. The finalization process for the doors is pretty simple. I'm just going to add bevels to everything that doesn't have a bevel. I'm going to rename parts and I'm going to tab into edit mode on individual parts and remove unnecessary faces. The main door follows the same process. The only thing worth mentioning is that I'm going to select these two edges, bevel them, and use cornice molding to add some detail here. I'm just going to bevel everything that doesn't have a bevel and adjust the bevel modifiers all around, remove unnecessary faces, rename things, and so on and so forth. I'm going to add some extra detail to our inner frames by insetting their inner edge and an extra level of detail to these supports by insetting them, extruding, adding bevels, and cornice molding. I'm also going to place my 3D cursor at the bottom of each door and press Shift A, empty, and plane axis. And I'm going to select the entire door, then select the empty last, press Ctrl P, parent, keep object transform. So I parent the door to the empty, and now whenever I move the empty, the door moves with it. Process for the windows is again very similar. Just apply every modifier, right click and auto smooth wherever you can, then select everything, Ctrl J and join them together, add an empty, bring it to the bottom of the object, Ctrl P and parent it there and hide it, move on to the next window. And with that, our windows and doors are done and ready to be placed on the building. Let's just check everything in rendered view. Looks good. Let's check the face orientation also. Press Q. In face orientation, we can see some faces are red here. That just means the normal is facing the wrong direction. I'm just going to select every red face and flip the normals. Just press Q and flip the normals. If you don't have this option, that's because you haven't added it to your quick favorites. Just go up to the mesh menu, then normals, and flip normals. And that's it. I'm just going to do this very quickly. And now everything is ready. We can move on to the final part of the modeling section of this course and place every window on the building, use booleans to cut it in, and make the third row windows and final adjustments.